There's this girl who violently thrown into a deep, dark pit. Dirt just keeps pouring down on her furiously, covering her legs, arms, and face. Before long, she's completely buried underground. And guess what? It's her classmates who did this. I mean, just how much hatred must there be for them to be this cruel? Here's the really strange part: the girl who was buried shows up at school again. What on earth is going on? There's a new student named Nanno who transferred to the school. She's drop-dead gorgeous. All the boys' eyes are fixed on her, and she quickly becomes the center of attention on campus. There are these 3 handsome guys on the basketball team. During training, they sneak over to Nanno's class just to get a peek at her, and Nanno notices them right away. Her desk mate Tim tells Nanno that these 3 guys are like the school hottest studs. Tim gets all shy when talking about them. Looks like she's a big fan herself. The girl on the right to you tells Nanno that those guys are a real pain in the neck and that Nanno should just ignore them. Is being too beautiful a curse? Nanno hasn't done a thing, but rumors about her are spreading like wildfire throughout the school. The girls are just filled with envy, jealousy, and hate towards her. Some say her face is the result of plastic surgery. Others say she was expelled from her old school, which is why she transferred here. And there are even those who claim she's a prostitute, and you can have her for $20. The rumors are getting crazier and crazier, but none of the boys can win Nanno's heart. Still, they're all crazy about her. One day, Hawk stops Tim and hands her a box of chocolates. Tim's over the moon. The guy she's got a crush on is giving her something nice. Then Hawk takes out another box. Tim can't believe it and asks, "Are both of them for me?" But Hawk tells her 1 box is for Nanno. Give it to her for me. Tim's heart sinks, and she walks away looking really downcast. How could her guy be nice to her just for Nanno's sake? Tim gives both boxes of chocolates to Nanno. Nanno offers her some, but Tim says in a really bitter tone, "I'm not eating someone else's leftovers." The jealousy within her is burning like wildfire. Then Nanno goes and says, "You're so fat. You should really lose some weight." That really hits Tim hard, and she storms off, fuming with anger. Nanno's got this strange smile on her face. Nanno's so beautiful that all the boys in the school are head over heels for her. Hawk tries to woo Nanno by putting a rose on her desk, but Nanno just smashes the flower with her school bag. Hawk pretends to be really sad and walks away. Nanno says she hates roses. Tim rolls her eyes and sends a message in the school group saying Nanno's just being pretentious. The rumors about Nanno just keep swirling around. The 3 handsome basketball guys stop Tim and Taeyu and pull out 2 concert tickets that are incredibly hard to get. Taeyu's really stoked, but before she can even relish having the tickets, Tim snatches them away. You know what they say, never trust someone who's being nice for no reason. Tim asks them what they're up to. Turns out they want Tim to take Nanno to a party and then get Nanno drunk so they can do something bad. Even though Tim's jealous of Nanno, she still has a conscience and refuses. She gives the tickets back. Taeyu also thinks the 3 guys are really sleazy for trying something like that. Tim complains to Taeyu that the classmates only come near them because of Nanno. Taeyu thinks Tim's making a mountain out of nothing. You can't imagine how terrifying a woman's jealousy can be. The male classmate who has a crush on Taeyu asks her for math tutoring. Taeyu protests a little at first, but still sits down to explain the problems to him. While Taeyu's concentrating on teaching, that classmate is looking at Nanno with a big, goofy smile. Nanno responds with a strange, knowing smile. Taeyu catches this scene, and her face hardens. She grips the pen tightly, then stands up and storms off. Nanno's smile just gets wider. The boy Taeyu fancies actually has his eyes on Nanno too. Taeyu is seething with jealousy, on the verge of breaking down in tears. After wiping her eyes, Taeyu decides to go to the concert with Tim. Tim readily agrees. Blinded by jealousy, the 2 of them decide to take Nanno to the party of the 3 hunks. At the party, the 3 hunks keep plying Nanno with drinks, one after another. Their faces are flushed bright red, but Nanno doesn't seem the least bit drunk. When Tim and Taeyu see that Nanno just won't pass out, they make up an excuse to go get some snacks. Friends, consumed by envy of Nanno's beauty, are actually plotting to destroy her. Taeyu mixes whiskey, beer, and vodka, determined to get Nanno drunk. Tim is even more devious. She pulls out a bottle of sleeping pills, planning to knock Nanno out cold. To make sure Nanno drinks the spiked wine, Taeyu offers a toast. Nanno downs it in one go and then collapses. The 3 hunks can't wait to get their hands on Nanno. Hawk, as the host, steps forward to untie Nanno's bow tie first. Suddenly, Nanno's eyes pop open. Hawk jumps back in fright. Nanno says, "At least ask for my consent first." Hawk asks,
มีอะไรกับแนนโนได้ไหมอะเรารักแนนโนนะ
Nanno gets up and flings the door open. The others, who were eavesdropping outside, quickly slam the door shut. Nanno demands of Tyu, "Why do you hate me so much?" Tyu braces against the door to keep Nanno inside. Nanno then turns to Tim, who has a thing for Hawk, and says, "Do you want to trade places with me?" But Tim just urges Hawk to hurry up. Hawk shoves Nanno onto the bed, and the others outside the door snicker. Hawk is about to do something unspeakable when suddenly Nanno bursts into this wild, maniacal laughter. The demonic sound scares Hawk so much that he claps his hand over Nanno's mouth and then starts to choke her. In a few moments, Nanno's eyes bulge and she goes limp. The room falls deathly silent. The others open the door and enter, only to see Nanno lying there motionless. Tyu, trying to be brave, reaches out and touches Nanno's leg to make sure she's dead. Tim is so terrified that she tries to bolt. Tyu grabs her and warns that if this gets out, they'll all be expelled. Another boy pipes up that they'll not only be expelled, but also arrested. Then they start blaming each other, pointing fingers and shouting accusations. Just when they're at their wits' end, Tim suddenly calms down and says,
เราต้องเอาศพไปฝัง
They drive to the outskirts, dig a deep pit together, and put Nanno in it. Hawk mumbles an apology to Nanno's body, but Tyu cuts him off and shouts at everyone to hurry up and bury her. Those with shovels start shoveling, and those without use their hands. Dirt piles up on Nanno's legs, arms, and face layer by layer. And that's when the real horror begins. The girl's got superpowers. She can actually come back to life after dying. Nanno suddenly coughs a few times and wakes up. Hawk is about to pull her out, but the others won't have it. One of them says, Tim first grabs a shovel to start filling the pit with dirt. Everyone else joins in, madly covering Nanno with soil. So Nanno is buried alive. After that, the five of them clasp their hands together and apologize to Nanno guilt-ridden, saying they didn't mean to do it. They're sorry. But little do they know that the nightmare has just begun. The next day, Nanno shows up at school again. The culprits are scared out of their wits. They buried Nanno alive with their own hands last night. How could she possibly be here again? Nanno greets them cordially. What the heck is going on? When Nanno tries to chat with them, Tim and Tyu's eyes are as wide as saucers. They suspect that the one in front of them isn't Nanno. Tim says,
เธอเป็นฝาแฝดแนนโน่
Nanno smiles and says, Have you guys lost it? I'm Nanno. Never do bad deeds or you'll be damned. T wishes she could get amnesia and forget all the evil things they did last night. She asks Nanno, Who on earth are you? Nanno replies, Are you all nuts? Then she seizes Tao's hand to feel her pulse and reaches out to touch Taoyu's face to take her temperature. Looking at the wound on Taoyu's hand, she remarks, That wound of yours is really hideous. Were you digging something last night? Hearing this, Taoyu and Tim are so terrified that they take to their heels. Nanno shouts after them.
ปาร์ตี้เมื่อคืนสนุกมากเลยนะ ถ้ามีคราวหน้าอีกเนี่ยอย่าลืมชวนนันโนะนะ
Then Nanno turns to look at the three handsome guys in the school building. At night, the five of them gather to figure out a plan. Is Nanno human or a ghost? Or did she claw her way out of the earth? Just then, the doorbell rings. It's Nanno. Everyone's on edge. Nanno says she left her phone and just strolls into Hawk's room and lies down on his bed. Do you believe that people can come back to life? Nanno, who was supposed to be dead, finds her phone on the bed and starts watching a video on it. She even invites everyone to watch it together.
เราต้องเอาศพไปฝัง
The five of them are scared stiff and almost wet themselves. There's even evidence like this. Nanno starts clapping and says, Such an exciting video. It should be shared with more people. This is the last thing the five of them want. Without a second thought, they charge at Nanno, teeth clenched. Nanno's eerie laughter rings out again. They kill Nanno once more. Again, in the same desolate place in the wilderness, they dig another big pit. Just after they bury Nanno in it, suddenly they hear the recording of yesterday's apology. Sorry, Nanno. Damn it! They're recorded again. They quickly dig in the dirt to find the phone. At this moment, something else goes wrong. Nanno comes back to life again and grabs Hawk's neck. The five of them are more than just scared. They're terrified out of their minds. Nanno bursts into maniacal laughter. At this point, the five of them go crazy and start hitting Nanno with shovels. Just then, Nanno is the daughter of Satan and has countless duplicates.
เหนื่อยไหมเนี่ย
Everyone's so scared that they huddle together. Another Nanno? Kill her quickly. They all rush forward and kill this Nanno as well. Immediately after that, Nanno's voice comes again.
วันนี้สนุกจังเลยนะพวกเรา
Good grief, there are so many Nannos that they can't be killed off. Everyone asks,
นันโนะคือนันโนะ
Everyone's so frightened that they want to drive away, but they can't find the car keys. Nanno picks up the car keys from the ground and hands them to Hawk. Hawk takes the keys with trembling hands. He starts to clasp his hands in apology again, but Nanno stops him. Nanno says, "Drive home safely." Then she gives Hawk a kiss and tells them she'll see them tomorrow. Everyone drives off and Nanno starts laughing like crazy again. The next day, Nanno goes to school again. Nanno warns the world that not all apologies can be accepted. If an apology is just for making more mistakes, then what's the point of it? Seeing Nanno come back to life and show up at school again, the five of them are driven to the brink of a mental breakdown. They'll be living in Nanno's shadow for the rest of their lives. This is the second episode of the Thai drama Girl from Nowhere. If you like it, drop a 1 in the comment section. We'll continue next time. Remember to like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.